Well, Rich here, and I recognise that many of us out there, due to COVID, are still under a great deal of financial pressure and not necessarily able to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on RC cars. So I found this car from Bonzai. It's a 141-600. I know, very memorable name, just like the ones from WL Toys. Anyway, just under $120. There's quite a lot to like about this four-wheel drive buggy. So let's take a look and see what's inside this box. Richie's smiling because he's had a peek already. And I will say, as I unbox this, I'm going to be doing a full test of it later on in this video. It's four-wheel drive, comes complete with 2.4 GHz radio, so nothing's going to interfere with it. 7.4 volt, 850 milliamp, LiPo battery. Now, look from the packaging, comes in eye-popping orange, but you can also get it in red and green as well. Weighs a smidgen under 1.5 kilos. Four-wheel drive, 390 can, brushed motor in there, but wait till I take the lid off because it looks huge in relation to the inside of the car. So my gut feel is this should have a good power to weight ratio. And speaking of power to weight ratio, they claim top speed of 40 kilometers an hour. I am going to put the GPS on this in this video and test that out. It's around about 30 miles an hour. Metal drive shafts all around the car. Adjustable front suspension, front and rear differentials. And of note, at this price point, we've even got threaded shocks. I would say probably a good idea to take these apart, see how much oil they've got in there, as that's not doing an awful lot of damping straight out of the box. 3.5 kilo servo tucked away under here, and a 35 amp ESC. So let's see what else we get for our money, and then to get the lid off this baby. Our instruction manual with supplied USB charger. Transmitter feels a little bit light in weight, a little bit plasticky on there, but we have got steering trim and adjustable throttle on there. 4 AA batteries in the bottom, and we're ready to go. And though this transmitter feels slightly plasticky, I would say it's got a claimed range of around about 150 metres, which is not bad at all at this price. And if anyone's thinking it looks like a toy, it's fully hobby grade, exploded diagram, every part number you could wish for in there. Should you have any problems and need to order anything for it. Takes about an hour to charge the battery using the USB supplied charger, and you get around 15 minutes runtime, but I will be timing that as we go along in the demo. Well, I have to say, with the body film off, the orange is absolutely eye-popping, particularly against the black pit mat down there. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below the video. It has a very, very solid feel indeed to it. At this price point, sometimes these buggies can feel like a little bit plasticky. Obviously, a lot of them are made out of plastic, but there's good plastic and there's bad plastic, if you know what I mean. Anyway, you can see the metal front drive shafts on there, fully adjustable shocks. As I say, we do need to check the oil. Front differential tucked away in there. That gorgeous body, it really does pop on the eye. I hope that comes out well on camera. Nice little wing to keep things stable at the back. And there's the rear end of the car. You know, you can get optional sway bars to fit to this car, but more importantly, let's have a look inside. And I'd already had a sneak peek, and I have to say this does look one of the better built buggies at this price point. The whole thing has more of a quality look and feel to it than ones I've seen in quite a little while. Well, obviously, we've got a lot of plastic in here. Just check out those rear A-arms, which appear to be fairly solid, as do the front ones. Lots of triangulation in there, which is always good to see for strength. Our 7.4 volt lithium-ion battery, good for around 15 minutes. But you notice here, we've got a little spacer in there, so you can obviously fit a bigger battery in there, something nearly double the size if you want, which is interesting. Or you've got room if you want to convert this to brushless. Our 35 amp ESC, blinding the obvious as to how much current that thing handles. And this car does show some thought. We've got a servo saver fitted on there, and top of the battery tray, no pin to remove. You just click this little lever over to the side. I'm getting quite a good feel about this. Tyres are glued to the rims, which is another good sign, and I think they should be pretty good, grippy around the track and on loose dirt. And we've got an extra little socket here, which I'm assuming maybe it's for a lighting kit or something if you wanted. Got our 390 brushed motor on there, mini Tamiya connector, our pinion and spur hidden away under there. Plastic chassis at this point, but as I say, that plastic is looking severely strong to my mind. Might even try the Ritchie wall test with this one if I'm feeling brave enough. Very well sprung as opposed to well damped at the minute. How much travel have we got? Lift the front wheel, oh, probably about ½ an inch on there. Anyway, time to get the battery on charge, get the GPS ready. Let's go test this thing and also find out just how fast it is. Before we go out, I'm just going to check the oil in the dampers. The one thing I would say, if you're familiar with a lot of these cars from the Far East, they traditionally tend to have metal screws in there as opposed to hex ones. However, there are hexes all over this car with no screws in sight, which is always a great sign to my mind.
Okay, well, time to give the Bonzai 14600 to give it its full name, or Jubatas as it says on the side of the car, a quick run on blacktop, and then we're going to do a speed test, see just how fast it is, which would appear to be quite quick. Initial thoughts are, yeah, mate, you can flick the back end out, but watch the oversteer, that's on full throttle there. Yeah, at the same time, that back end is playful, should you want to. I think on loose gravel, this could be a different beast altogether. I like that lift-off oversteer. Now, if anybody's wondering what I mean by lift-off oversteer, I'll bring it flat out towards me, ease up, and turn, and then the car spins out like that. That is lift-off oversteer, just in case anyone was wondering. If you eased off and then, yeah. I like it because it's got lift-off oversteer, which I quite like as a handling trait on cars. So when you're going fast, ease off, then floor it, and the back end whips around. So in terms of its straight out of the box handling, bristow, no acceleration, super smooth. If anything, it wants to understeer, but you can provoke that back end to pop out if you want. But it does take provocation. It's not necessarily wanting to spin out on its own. Anyway, let's time to see how fast it is. Okay, see how fast it is. I'm thinking maybe mid-20s personally. Let's see. That's power in. That's peaked out. I'm thinking that's maybe 22 or so. I am thinking that is maybe 20 or thereabouts. That has definitely peaked out. Frighteningly good brakes on it. Anyway, let's see what the GPS says. I'm thinking maybe about 22, possibly 24 miles an hour. I'm more inclined to 22 miles an hour on there. 19 miles an hour. Wondering what that is in kilometres an hour. 19 miles an hour is actually 30 kilometers per hour. So I know that I've quoted 40 kilometers an hour on the box, but that does not surprise me, as with many of these cars, they tend to overestimate the speed rating on there. But in terms of its core handling, it is super smooth. Yeah, decent turn of acceleration, to say the least. You could throw this thing around, you could drive it literally flat out at that 19 miles an hour, pretty much all day long. Changes direction very well. The servo is quite strong. Brakes are extremely strong. Radio range, let's test the range. Still got control there, still got control there, still got control there. That is definitely good for the 150 metres that they claim for it. That is for sure. It's a bit twitchy at low speed, but once you build the speed up, it is pretty darn good at speed. Some slight scrubbing of the speed off with the tyres. Now, the one thing I would say is turning at high speed scrubs a lot of speed off of the car. But likewise, you're not going to overcook this thing and stack it into something in a hurry. And I say very playful. A great little backyard or parking lot basher. So ideal at home on here, but I have a feeling it might be good on grass. So let's take it on some and see. Okay. We've seen how well it does on blacktop, now let's see how it handles a bit of grass. Well, considering there may not be any oil in those shocks, it's not getting kicked around a lot. Handles the transition fairly well. Come in the other way, that steering's quite twitchy, but a four-wheel drive on this. Plenty of grip on the grass there. Not getting kicked around at all, I have to say. Quite surprising. Some of these smaller, cheaper buggies can really be kicked around in terms of kicking around in terms of direction, but this only goes exactly where you want to place it. Not bad at all. This grass is getting a little bit longer. Well, I don't know, the battery's just beginning to die out on it, but I'm getting up close on 20 minutes for the life of the car. Not too bad at all to my mind.
Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.